Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blockbird Cryptocurrency. So today we are going to discuss Donald Trump and cryptocurrency. As you can see here on your screen, we have a picture of Donald Trump on the website for Trump Coin. Now, before you run to exchanges to buy your own Trump coin, I would strongly caution against it. If we take a look here at the coin, wow, it's not a token. If we take a look here at the coin, it has a really strong market cap of $1 million. That, of course, is sarcasm. And it looks like it is pretty much a pump and dump coin. But if you must get it, you can find it on the exchanges of Cryptopia, Ubit, Livecoin, and so forth. Has a pretty low volume, so I don't know if you'll be able to get out of your position, but hey, maybe it's worth a shot. Of course, this is definitely not financial advice, so please do your own due diligence. All right, moving on. So, in all seriousness, as investors in cryptocurrency, it's important for us to know where the president stands with a particular asset class, whether that be the dollar or stocks or gold or even cryptocurrency. What the president says about an asset has a way of moving the markets. You all may remember that it was just a couple weeks ago where Trump's secretary, his Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, said that the dollar was weak and the markets had a bit of a panic and the dollar began to fall. Well, Trump followed up and he said that actually the dollar was in great shape and it was quite strong, and the markets responded accordingly and the dollar went upwards. So, if we just look at this example and many others, we can tell that the president definitely has a large impact on markets. So, what I'm going to do is speculate on whether the president has a positive or a negative outlook towards cryptocurrency. I'm going to start out with the negative, just so we can end on a positive note, and we'll work our way to where the president stands and maybe get a better approximation of what his position is on the market so we can approach it accordingly. So, starting out with some of Trump's officials, Jeff Sessions and Cohen, we get some news that is somewhat negative, but it's not entirely dark. So let's start out with Jeff Sessions. And to quote, "The FBI is very concerned about the dark web. They did take it down, I think, the two biggest dark sites. This last one, Alphabay, we took down recently. They had 240,000 sites where individuals were selling, looks like it's a typo there, for the most part illegal substances or guns on that site, including fentanyl. And they use bitcoins and other untraceable financial capabilities, and it is a big problem." So that's what the Attorney General had to say on cryptos. Now, to follow up, the White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders has said Bitcoin is being monitored. Quote, "The Bitcoin situation is something that is being monitored by our team. Homeland Security is involved," said Sanders. "I know it's something that Trump's keeping an eye on, and we'll keep you posted when we have anything further on it." So, just from this article, well, I'm sorry, following up, Cohen said, "I'm going to leave that to you," when asked about his opinion on Bitcoin. So we don't have much there. From the looks of this article, at least from these two major Trump officials, Jeff Sessions and Cohen, it is slightly negative if we do assume that the people that Trump appoints are a representation of his own views, especially Jeff Sessions. And moving on to his Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, he also had some strong words to say about cryptocurrency, especially following the statements of Theresa May, the Prime Minister of the UK. So Theresa May said, for instance, that she was taking, quote, very seriously the prospect of cracking down on the use of Bitcoin and other digital money. And U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that he shared those concerns and suggested that the world needed to work together to focus on cryptocurrencies to make sure that financial markets are safe. Of course, it's always about the safety. So that's what the Treasury Secretary had to say about cryptos. So not quite negative, but not quite positive either. Moving on. So you all may remember the recent Senate hearing where we had the heads of the SEC and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission chairman, both chairmen at this hearing. And you may remember this guy who was, I would say, quite warm towards cryptocurrency. He discussed his niece, who was an investor in cryptocurrency, and how many of the investors, and in fact most of the investors, are not criminals. And he even used terms like hodl and moon. He seemed to know his stuff, and he was very explicit in saying that they want to foster a market that is safe for investors, where they are not being scammed, but a market that is flourishing. So considering that Trump is a businessman and he tends to listen to business leaders and financial leaders, we could see the comments from these two chairmen as perhaps a green light on the direction that Trump will take, the positive direction that Trump will take towards cryptocurrencies. So outside of these officials, I actually want to look at this from a different angle, from that of a gold bug or a silver bug. So it just so happens that our president may in fact be a gold bug. And many of you got into cryptocurrency because you didn't want to hold Federal Reserve notes. You were tired of your bank account not earning any interest. So you saw gold and silver as a hedge against the inflationary note of the US dollar. Well, it just so happens that the president, at least when he made this real estate transaction, probably felt the same way that you feel as a metals investor. So for those of you who do not know, Trump recently, well, not recently, this was a few years ago, he actually did a pretty major deal for his property at 40 Wall Street, where he took 32 gold ounce bars as a deposit for the purchase, which was valued at over $100,000. So here are his words at the time. He said that it's a sad day when a large property owner starts accepting gold instead of the dollar. And he went on, the economy is bad, and Obama's not protecting the dollar at all. If I do this, other people are going to start doing it, and maybe we'll see some changes. So, you know, that seems to strongly suggest that Trump is more than likely a gold bug. Now, if we look at his friend, Robert Kiyosaki, and these two have worked together many times, he is also a huge gold guy. And more importantly, he's also a big crypto guy. If you just type in Robert Kiyosaki, a lot of his most recent statements are both bullish on gold and cryptocurrency. The dollar will be replaced by gold and cryptos by 2040. Won $100,000. Get gold, Robert Kiyosaki says. So birds of a feather tend to flock together. Who's to say whether or not Trump is bullish or not on crypto? We can probably say that he is on gold, and if his opinions are at all similar to those of Robert Kiyosaki, then I think we have a lot to be optimistic towards. So, considering these multiple factors, whether it be Jeff Sessions or Mnuchin, the SEC, and this CFTC, and finally Trump's interest in gold, I would say at the very least he's cautiously optimistic. But again, that is hard for us to say definitively because we have not seen a tweet, or we haven't actually received an official statement from the president himself on cryptocurrencies. So the verdict is still out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Trump negative or positive towards cryptocurrencies, or is he somewhere in between? I am looking forward to hear what you have to say, and let's start a conversation. And in the meantime, if you like this video, be sure to like it right below and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.